Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, Pontiac High School students. Today's lesson is on the basic economic decisions that we have to make. There are basically three of them. In any economy, producers, the people who make stuff, must answer three basic questions. That is, what or how much are we going to make? How are we going to make this? And who gets to get it once it's produced? Those are your three basic economic questions. Don't forget them. It's what, how, and who. Let's start with what. When a decision is made to produce a certain good, the opportunity cost of that decision is that those resources can't be used for any other goods, right? If you got a pile of wood and you decide to make a table, well, you can't make a chair out of the wood that you just made a table out of. It doesn't work that way. You use the resource. It's done. It's gone. Now, generally, when we're talking about these resources, it's going to be the owner of the resource that determines how they're used. So I own the wood. I'm going to make a table out of that wood. How much to produce? How much of the product which is produced depends on many factors. Lots of things to consider here. These factors include the availability of capital and labor. That would be the tools and the people to build my table, as well as a market for the good or service. How much do people want wooden tables right now? And if I got the capital, I got the tools. I got an expert table maker, and a lot of people want tables right now made out of wood, then I'm going to want to make a lot of wooden tables. But if those aren't all true, well, then I might not be making as many of them as I thought. All right, so how to produce? How, that big second question. The question of how we produce goods or services is a question of how we use resources to create goods and services. That is, are we going to create that wooden table by handcrafting every little bit of it? Or are we going to use our resources to build a factory and have machines produce the table for us? What are we going to do? Okay, this is method of production, factory or hand, and the amount of labor. If we're going to be hand producing a whole bunch of tables, that's a lot of labor because it's a lot of time. But if we can get machines to do it, it's less labor because the machines can work so much faster. All right, the role of technology. Technology has helped our society to decrease the amount of labor required to produce a product. We can have a factory build our tables. We can have this big, huge reaper machine cut down all this corn or wheat or whatever that is, instead of having people out with scythes doing it by hand, right? So we have this technology reducing the amount of labor that has to go into this. Now, in general, a wise use of technology can increase production while also decreasing costs. We want to make more stuff for less money. And if you're using technology well, you can do that. All right, who gets what? The final question is, who gets these finished products? Who does the food go to? Who does the table go to? Well, different government and economic systems have kind of figured out different ways to answer this question of who gets the stuff. We got choices to make. Should goods and services be distributed to all people equally? That is, should everybody get one table? You get one table for your whole house because we can provide one table for everybody. Should they only go to people who need them? It's like, oh, well, you don't really need a table because it's just you and you're not at your house very much, so you don't need one. So we're going to reserve it for that family of 7 over there. They need to sit at a table. Or how should they go? Should they go to only those people who can afford them? Just like, hey, I got tables for sale. Who's got money? You got money, you get a table. Societies actually answer these questions in different ways. Everybody gets one. Only the people who need one get one. Anybody who's got the money for it can have one. 3 different societies, 3 different ways to answer that question. Now, how a society answers those 3 questions is based upon the values of that particular society and what they hope to achieve. Maybe we want to make sure that everybody has a fair, equal shot. Maybe we want to make sure that people who want nice things like a table will work hard in other ways in order to afford it. Different societies, different values. Now, these decisions help to determine the nation's type of economy: a command economy, traditional economy, or a market economy. And we are going to talk about those three different systems of economies the next time you listen to my boring voice drone on. But for now, that's it for today on Basic Economic Decisions. I hope you learned something. Farewell.